recorded the last one. I will upload the recordings to the Google Classroom when I'm finished. You're seeing the map?
Yes, miss.
Trellis, Godre, right? Trellis pattern. What else can you see in this map? It have no radial on this map. Radial is volcanic, so you really ain't seeing no radial here. Let me see if I can zoom in some more. What you all think? Look at all these rivers are disappearing. You could barely see it. What is that? You're barely seeing any rivers on this map, you know. You're seeing more. They tell you depressions. Once you know it have depression, it means that depressions on the map, you have sinkholes. Sinkholes because it's limestone. It is poorly drained, very poorly drained. Where you see, you're not really seeing any drainage in terms of pattern, um, pattern in terms of you're not seeing no radial, no look below here. This is the only river pattern that you're seeing here. You're seeing this river pattern below here,
Yes, miss.
right? This area where you're seeing Pedro River, right? What type of pattern is that?
Mrs. with dendritic.
Tributary.
Low, so it's low drainage density, yes. Um, it looks dendritic below here, right? Direction of flow as well. So you would see here, very good, who said dendritic? So you see here, they said the presence of disappearing and seasonal streams, swamps, and ponds. So resulting in poor drainage east of Moneague. You all see how they stated the actual area, low drainage density, density in the southeast and southwest areas of the map. So we just said those things, dendritic to the bottom here. So this is what I was showing you, dendritic here. This is southwest, and then southeast is the same thing, dendritic at the bottom here. Southeast, you seeing that? Industrial waste. If you look in these little blue areas, you would see, I think this would be marsh or swamp and ponds. So that is what they were talking about. You're seeing it here in the key, pond. So look in your key, right? You'll see the answers. So the features of drainage, presence of disappearing and seasonal stream because it's limestone. So underground drainage is the same as disappearing streams, right? Disappearing streams. Swamps and ponds resulting in poor drainage to the east of Moneague, and then low drainage density and dendritic pattern in the southeast and west areas of the map. Oh my God, what did that do? Right? So where Moneague is in terms of, very good. Let us move on to the next question. Yes, I believe it's that. Yes, you have to identify the areas, Tiana. That's how you get your marks. They don't want it arbitrarily, right? They don't want it arbitrarily. They want you to be able to locate the areas that you see in the low drainage density, the drainage pattern. Same thing with settlement, same thing with relief. Always pay attention to that. So the last two areas, it says, briefly describe with reference to the map extract, with reference to the entire map extract, two characteristics, distribution of settlements and form and type. So the difference between distribution and form and type. What is distribution? When you're talking about distribution, what will you describe? Don't look in the
It's the way it's spread out.
it is the way it is spread out. Very good. And in terms of spread, what are the words that we use when we use distribution? What words do we use?
Density, Miss. Population density.
No, darling.
Miss,
Distribution.
that linear.
No, 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 no. In terms of linear would be form. Distribution, you use uneven,
Nucleated.
evenly distributed, sparse, dense.
Miss, high
Yeah.
and low density.
No, you can't use density for distribution. You use sparse or dense. You use even or unevenly distributed. So an evenly distributed settlement would mean that you're seeing it like equally in all areas. Uneven would mean that you're seeing like, you know, one settlement here, another one elsewhere. It is far away from each other. It's uneven, or one area have more houses than the other, right? Sparse would mean where you see houses separated far away from each other. Dense would be more clustering. Do you all understand that?
So that's the way how you would describe the way how they're spread out.
Distribution, yes, in terms of spread. That is how you describe distribution, spread.
Okay, Miss.
You can't. Distribution and density is two different things. Density is the concentration or the amount of houses or settlement in an area, or the amount of anything. Distribution is the spread. So you use even, unevenly, use those words, sparse, dense. Is that clear? And then settlement form is what? When you say settlement form,
Miss, that's the one like linear nucleated and this.
exactly. So settlement form would be the settlement patterns. You see settlement form or type. So linear, nucleated, dispersed, isolated. Everybody clear? So let's look on the map now and tell me what can you see in terms of distribution. What about distribution? Did they ask you to explain it with characteristics? So you also look at where it's distributed, right? Because distribution is the spread or the location. Where's distribution of settlements? What do you see? Let me zoom into the settlement. Look at it here. What do you see?
Mrs. like rarely populated near Walker's Wood.
Okay, yes, Walker's Wood. Is that in the mountains? So what you can, Walker's Wood is in the mountains? Where is that? I'm not seeing that area. Uneven, yes, it's unevenly distributed. Less settlements near forested area, excellent. And you would see along the roads, along the main roads, you have more linear distribution and nucleated. Well, that would be form, right? So in terms of distribution, it is unevenly distributed, right? Across the map. You would see that the forested areas, you have less settlements, a sparse distribution. You're seeing that? Look at it here. Look at this. You seeing how they just sparse, right? Whereas along the roads, you have a more even distribution located along the roads. In terms of settlement form now, what can you say? What type of settlement form do you have?
Miss nucleated. No, Miss dispersed, scattered.
Yes, you have dispersed, scattered. You also have nucleated. And you
Miss,
also have linear. You have all three types.
Miss, along the red line, Miss, I can't really see the key.
Okay, so you don't need to see the key because the pink line, the pink areas on the map is usually built up areas. You understand that? So this here is what we say nucleated pattern. And then all the other little dots is linear along the roads. You're seeing that, or tracks and footpaths. And then of course you have dispersed in the mountains areas. Is that clear? Everybody understand?
Yes, miss.
Let's
Yeah,
look,
miss.
let's look at the map answers, what they say here. Distribution was not understood by 50% of the candidates. You see the madness here? The term distribution, to say where people had settled in the area, most give incorrect description of settlement. A good answer would, most settlements were scattered and found where land was below 400 meters on, right, with few settlements being found in rugged areas to the west of the map. So make sure that you state the area. Everybody understand that? So when we say that in the mountainous areas, make sure that you give like a contour and an area. So you say they say the area west, right? So remember when I was zooming in and I was showing you all this area here, this is to the west of the map. You all understand that?
Yes, Miss.
So just
Yes,
make
miss.
sure you state the areas and so forth, right? For again with form, you see most describe linear pattern. Nucleated was also identified, but descriptions were weak, right? You have to spell the word right too. And then it says 60% stated the forms without giving a description. So when you state it, make sure that you state a description of it, right? So nucleated is is clustering around the Golden Grove area, the Claremont area, where you have the clustering of the settlements together. Remember, linear, you see along the main and minor roads and footpaths. Isolated, make sure you describe it and you give proper definition. Is that cool?
Yes, miss.
Okay, good.
Yes, Miss.
Nice. The next part of the map now, right. One relationship, you see how they like to give you this last part with relationship, and it's always 6 marks. A relationship between relief of the land in the area covered by the map extract of each of the following: relief and cultivation. What is the relationship between relief and cultivation again? Farming is cultivation, remember that. So what is the relationship between relief and cultivation? And you have to give it with reference to the map. And then you have natural vegetation, and then you have roads. So let us look at it. Flat land, right? So, you have to look at that, right? Maybe it's on flat land, natural vegetation, and roads. Let's look at it. So farming, where's the cultivated areas? Let us see what cultivated areas in the map looks like. Sugarcane plantation is one. You see in banana. It have a lot of things on this map: banana, cocoa, coffee. Wow. So what can you say about the cultivated areas? No, you can't say. You remember they tell you specific things. So you're looking at relief of the land and the location of relief with respect to farming. How the height influence farming? What is the relationship? So Dre said flat land, but he has to give us a specific area in the map, which he's probably seeing that, and highlight the cultivated area. So you can say sugarcane near Goshen Pen, right? Because I am just saying that because of the yellow area, because it's most prominent for me to see from on the screen right now, right? Remember they said that the contours in this area is I think below 400 meters. So you look at it and see what the contours are, and then you describe that with respect to the relief and the type of cultivation that you're seeing. Everybody understand what I'm saying?
Yes, miss.
What is the second thing? Natural vegetation. What can we say about the natural vegetation and relief of the land? Look at the natural vegetation. Would be all of the woodland, trees and shrub, forest plantation. What can you say? Look at it. The contours are what? You're seeing that the contours are close together, which suggests that those areas are
The higher lands, miss. They're in the
right. So look, you're saying 680. So we know that this is mountain 720. You're seeing that. So the woodland and those areas are on the steeper areas of the map. You're seeing that the natural vegetation, the what is it? Natural vegetation of the woodland and those areas, the dark green is on the
Yes.
steeper areas of the map. So make sure that you give areas. Tianda, you're not saying near water sources. You relief has nothing to do with drainage. Relief is the height of the land. So you're looking at height of the land and where the natural vegetation is. So the natural vegetation you see in here, look at what they are here. Natural vegetation would be the woodland, which is the dark green, trees and shrub, forest plantation. And you see where they are. They are on the higher contours, and they are in the areas of like New York, Ballymoney, Pleasant Hill, all of those areas, all the way Edinburgh, right? But you're not seeing any water sources there either. Remember, this is the map where you only see the water sources in the southeast and southwest. Remember that. And the next thing is roads. What about roads in terms of relief? The roads are located where?
miss. The red lines are the road. I can't see the
Yes,
key.
darling. The red lines are the road. Always remember, red lines, the dark reds are the major roads, and the lighter red that you're seeing here, right? Look at here. Dark road, class A, lighter roads, class B, lighter road, C. So this is like C, right? And you can see that these are on flatter areas, 300, 341. You're seeing that they are in the valley between the highlands. Can you all see that?
Yes, miss.
Right?
Miss, Miss,
Yes.
for an explanation for the roads being on flat land, you would say to like allow easy access in and out of towns.
Yes, you can say that. Right? So the answer, let us see what they said here. Candidates, example of relief and the following famine. They said 20% did not attempt the question. Of those who attempted, only 50% were but there was an absence of map evidence. So always state the map evidence, right? So always say the map evidence. So that is it with respect. So you say, you could say the contours, you say in the major road is going through Claremont, and they are in the valleys of the, on either side you see the woodland, right? Flat areas indicated by the contours, you give map evidence. Everybody understand that? That is the last question in Mapwood. And those are all the digital maps that I have. I don't have any more maps.
Miss, I want to clarify something. It's not related to this, the describing anything on the map, Miss.
No problem.
Miss, when you're using the compass for angular bearings, you place you place the little middle part of the compass on the location, on the from location, and you draw the line to the to location, and you look at where the angle falls.
Yes, let me show you something quick. I can,
Okay.
let me show you something quick. Let me pull it up before I show it to you. Anybody else have problems doing angle?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
You know how we have to use the paper to measure like straight line distance and roads and stuff, so we are allowed to bring a piece of paper to do that in the exam?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
I think they normally give you extra paper. I'm not too sure they would allow you to bring anything, especially now with COVID, but they usually give you. I don't know if you'll learn to use a string, but the more accurate measure is using the paper and turning and twisting it and marking it off.
Miss, do you think you would need a magnifying glass? Because that map was really small.
Yes, yes. I often tell my students carry a magnifying glass. That's it. The Jamaica maps are usually they have a lot of stuff on them. Like you see Belize and Jamaica. We're looking at, oh shucks, wrong thing. Geo for CXC has a good explanation for the first set of things on the maps. I use this, so let me show you all this. Anybody ever heard about this site? You all ever use this site?
I'm excuse miss, can you repeat the name of your site?
www.geo4cxc. All right, so with angular bearings, let us look at it. So they ask you, draw compass bearing I want to do. Yes, they don't go in depth, but it's very good for like quick revision, like how I am doing this here. So the first step, right, you want to find what is the bearing of the hospital in 2 to 24:45 from the school. So the first thing you're going to do is put your compass point on the school. Everybody understand that? So you draw your compass on the school. So let us do that. Because you find in the direction of the hospital. Then you connect your point to the hospital. Therefore, the angle that you are finding, oh God, this thing's sick, man. The angle that you are locating is this angle here. Everybody understand that? So what do you do? Remember, on your protractor, you would see a little circle and cross. We call that a crosshair, which is the same north-south compass. You line it up that circle with this circle. So you pointing it in the direction in which you want to measure. So in this instance, you are putting your protractor to the right. You see that? So this is it here. Let me clear it because they did a nice illustration. So I don't confuse you. So look at it here. So you measure it. You're seeing the center of the protractor. Can you see it? Or is it not clear? So the center, get your protractor. If you can see it, get your protractor. You line it up with 0. You're not reading from the bottom. You're reading where 0 is and you go around. So that is the start. 0, and you see that that falls on 120. So the angle is 120. You all see that?
Yes, miss.
Nasania, you understand that?
Yes, miss. That was quite simple.
Now let us say they ask you what is the direction of the school. You are now going to place your protractor in the opposite direction. You understand that? So it
Yes,
will
miss.
now be facing left. And what you do, you put the same 0, but you're going to add the angle that you get from 0 to the school. You add 180 to it because we know that the first half of the protractor is 180. You understand that? So this first half here is 180. You understand that?
Yes, miss.
So look at it here now. So you put your compass now facing to the left and you measure 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This is 55. So this would be 50. Wow. 52 for about 50, 55. Right? So it will be 180 plus 55. 58. So 180 plus 58. You're seeing that? And it gives you 238. You understand that, Nasania? Nasania, you there?
Yes, miss. I understand.
Was it you who asked me how to use the protractor?
Yes, miss.
Okay, good.
Excuse me, miss. Just one question. How much can you be, like, how many degrees can you be off? 1 degree?
Yeah, 1 degree, I believe. 1 degree. Yeah, 1 degree. So you have to read it off very accurately, 1 or 2 for the most, right? So remember, if you have a direction that is over 180, you line up your protractor facing the left, and then you count out the angle between that point, and then you add it to 180. Is that clear? Renee? Renee, is that okay with you now? All right. Measuring distances, you use it the same 2 ways I show you all. If it's a straight line, you just connect the 2 points. If it's along a river or road, you have to bend the paper. This is kind of difficult to show you here, but I think I have a video posted in my room that you can go through. So let us go through some questions that we never did on the live, and then we'll call it a night and you all will go and say a prayer and do some more revision of the things that you don't understand. Or not don't understand, but at this point, I guess, don't remember. What is wrong with Dre? Dre, I can't take you, Oh my Lord. You ready? So we did all of the weathering questions, soil creep, we did those. 2 characteristics of soils. two characteristics of soil. What are two characteristics of soil? Tianda, what you're asking me about the vertical height? It is the difference between from the highest and lowest point. So you're taking away the lowest point that they give you in the question from the highest point. Rich in minerals, nutrients, what else? Parent material, very good, Dream, very good. What else? Minerals, parent material that is broken up. What else? You have to describe it, huh? You have organic matter,
Water moisture level.
moisture, and organic matter, right? Because of organisms. How climate and vegetation influence the formation of soils in equatorial region? Papa, that's a lot of thinking there. So climate, in terms of climate, you're thinking about rainfall, you're thinking about temperature, vegetation, you're thinking about the type of vegetation that you have in equatorial region is the equatorial rainforest. So how does that influence the formation of soils and the type of soil in equatorial region? What is the type of soil found in equatorial regions, yo?
Lattisols.
Lattisols, very good. So lattisol is formed because what happens with the vegetation there? What? I have a nice answer here, boy. Thank you. Straight from the report. The area experiences high temperatures and heavy rainfall. So you're looking at the chat, Tianda, walking on sunshine. I don't know what is walking on sunshine real name, but nice to meet you, walking on sunshine. Right? She gave us the entire answer from the report. So from the report, remember I just told you temperatures, rainfall and temperatures lead to chemical weathering of the parent material and high bacterial activity, which causes rapid breakdown of plant litter. The constant rainfall leads to leaching, right? Resulting in a horizon low in calcium but rich in soil. Then vegetation, the plant cover. Remember that canopy will produce a lot of leaf litter that will fall, and of course organisms that will lead to a lot of decomposition of it, giving it that. Not sucking up all the nutrients, it helps to give you that top layer that is rich in nutrients, Dre. So look at the answer that Walking on Sunshine gave. It is straight from the reports. The reports give you answers. So you want to talk about temperature and rainfall, and then you want to talk about the leaf litter and how that contributes to the humus layer and leaching. You all know those questions. Know those, please. Know that, please. Caribbean islands.
Miss, are we joining back?
Pardon?
Are we going to join again?
Oh yes. You all want to do the rest of questions?
Yes, Miss.
All right. So let us do all the questions. We're gonna rejoin. When it cut off, I will open it again and we'll do the Caribbean.